Well, I'm Dr. Christenson. I want to congratulate each and every one of you for coming out by taking the time to learn about how to better live a healthier quality of life. This will pay dividends for years to come. So $5 for the rest of your life, that's a pretty good investment. So I also want to thank Dr. Bullock, Emily, all the other speakers. Dr. Bullock did an amazing job. And again, it's an honor to be up here with them and all the other breakout session speakers. And finally, all the folks that came together to make this event happen. I know they worked long and hard. And just help me out, guys. Give them a round of applause, would you? So again, I'm Dr. Matthew Christenson. If you can't tell from my thick Norwegian accent, I'm not a native of Abilene, Texas. I'm originally from a tropical climate called Fargo, North Dakota. Anyone ever been there? If you haven't, you're not missing much. About 7 months, 6-7 months of snow and cold, and you'll know why we're in Texas. So, we were going to talk about a few things today, and I've been here about 5 years, and arguably in 5 years we've built one of the biggest chiropractic clinics in West Texas. Currently we have about a 5 to 8 week wait to get into our office, and I say that very humbly, guys. I do not have an ego, but I do have passion for helping people live a better, healthier life. So it was quite an honor when I was asked to speak today, and again about something regarding health. So we'll get started here. See if my PowerPoint will work. But we're going to talk about stress, and apparently I must radiate stress because they asked me, but again, it's an honor. And stress, guys, is something we all face. Let's see a show of hands here. How many of you love and appreciate the stressed out lifestyle? Yeah, me too, right? The thing is, we all face stress, but not all of us understand it. And if you can't understand something, you can't solve it. So today we're going to talk about two things. One is I'm going to talk about how stress impacts your health, what happens within your body when you're stressed. And more importantly, we're going to talk about what we can do to minimize or find relief from day-to-day stress. So let's get started. So what better than to go ahead and define stress? Now, according to the online medical dictionary, stress is defined as an organism's total response to environmental demands or pressures. And that sounds like blobbity to me. And if you know me personally, I'm a simple man. You can ask my wife, she's sitting right there. But stress, in my terms, is anything that the body has to adapt to in order to survive. And there's three types of stress: physical, we'll talk about chemical, and then the third one is mental and emotional. These all have the same effect, by the way. So the first one is physical stress. Now, you guys all know what I'm talking about, but just being a kid, I think back to what I did as a kid. I can't believe I lived past the age of 8 with some of the things I remember doing. Another one is sports. How many have played sports here? Most of us. And what's the big one in Texas? Football. I couldn't believe this. We moved here 5 years ago. I watched kids this tall in full pads and helmets hitting each other on the football field, and I don't care how strong you are, but when you hit someone as hard as you can with everything you got, helmet to helmet, your body is not designed to take those kinds of traumas. And there's reasons why NFL football players get Alzheimer's disease in their mid-30s, guys. There's a lot of impact that goes into your spine. So we won't go through all these. This guy, I guarantee you, lives in Fargo, North Dakota. Another one is automobile injuries. About 30,000 people a year die in this country from automobile injuries, and tens of thousands get hurt. And that's a form of trauma, and most of us have had something. Another one is sedentary lifestyle, inactivity. Those are as harmful for you as smoking. Your body is designed to move. So the next one, surgery. Anytime you are cut open, that is a form of stress to your body. And we all know someone who's, and not against surgeons or anything, but we all know someone who's had a bad effect from surgery. So those are physical. Negative chemical stresses, processed fried foods. Here in America, we got the 4 food groups. We got fats, carbs, salt, and sugar. Is that what Dr. Bullock was talking about earlier? No, I'm teasing. In fact, they call it the standard American diet, the SAD diet. And with all the health care we have, best doctors in the whole world, we have some of the lowest rates of health in the entire world. There's third world countries that are ahead of us in the health care scheme. Next one is alcohol. We'll talk about what's normal. There's nothing wrong with drinking here and there, but in excess, anything is not good for you. Cigarette smoking raises your chance of every disease tenfold minimum. And we all know, I'm not here to pound that one into you, but cigarettes are not good for you. Medications are a toxin to your body. Anytime you take them in, your body has to eliminate it through your liver, your kidneys. That is a stress on the body, believe it or not. And environmental toxins. In the last 100 years, over 80,000 chemicals, man-made, have been introduced to our environment. 200 roughly have been tested. And everyone wonders where cancer comes from. So just keep that in the back of your mind. The next one, mental, emotional stress. Now this top one, family stress. And this can be positive, but I'm here to tell you, my daughter's 2.5 years old. They call it terrible twos for a reason, right? That's a form of stress. I mean, that girl gets up at 7, she doesn't stop till 8:30 at night. And that's a form of stress. Work stress, so, you know, you work in a bad work environment. Financial stress, we all got mortgages, rent. Student loans are a big thing. Social stress, are you one of those folks that tries to keep up with the Joneses, tries to have the best of everything? Well, that's a form of stress to your body. Worrying, fear of the future. Worrying is really fear of future or guilt from your past, and I'll talk about how you can let go of that. Procrastinating, I made this PowerPoint 2 hours ago. I'm teasing, by the way. And then mood disorders. You know, about 25% of Americans at some point in their life are going to have a bout of a major mood disorder, depression, anxiety, and we'll talk about things you can do there. So yay, it's analogy time. And you guys will be happy to see I put a selfie in here too. So the thing is, with any kind of stress, whether it's physical, mental, or chemical, our body responds the same because it doesn't know the difference. And there's 2 forms of response. One is acute, which is designed to save your life, and 2 is chronic. And again, it's the same response. So let's just pretend for a minute that we're walking in the jungle together, and I know we all do this every other Tuesday, right? And a 600-pound Bengal tiger jumps out in front of you. Would you guys agree there might be a little bit of a stress response takes place? And let's just see what happens there. Now what happens is a few things. It's called your fight or flight response. And your stress hormones are released. Obviously you're trying to prepare your body for, you know, fight or flight, which in this case, please flight. Heart rate, blood pressure goes up, breathing increases. You got to get blood and oxygen to your muscles, your tissues. Blood sugar goes up. You need energy now. You need glucose now. Fats and cholesterol go up. You need fats for wound healing, cholesterol to make more hormones like testosterone. Fear and anxiety go up. Well, that's a no-brainer, I would assume. Decreased memory, ability to learn. At this point, algebra is not probably on the priority list right now. Increased adrenaline, decreased serotonin. Your calming neurotransmitters come down while your amped up transmitters come up. Pain sensitivity goes up. You need to know if you got hurt. Cellular immunity down, not important. Growth sex hormones down. Having that 3rd child is not on your agenda at this distinct moment. And then your bone loss breakdown goes up. Your body's freeing anything it has to save your life right now. And again, regardless if it's a tiger chasing us, most of us don't deal with that in this day and age, but we do have other stressors. Your boss yelling at you, deadlines, family issues, financial burdens, car accidents. We've all had something, but acutely, again, it's designed to save your lives. But long-term, stress is the #1 cause of disease, disability, and if it's bad enough and long enough in duration, it'll kill you. So let's see what happens long-term when stress is up. Now, stress hormones released, that chronic stress hormones, your adrenals will just give out one day, and you're going to get what's called, you'll get allergies, that's a sign of adrenal failure, burnout, adrenal fatigue, insulin resistance, heart rate, blood pressure increase. Over the long term, this is cardiovascular disease, hypertension, strokes, heart attack. Blood sugar goes up. If your blood sugar is constantly doing this, at some point your pancreas just says, I'm done, and you're going to be a type 2 diabetic. First off, it's usually hypoglycemia you see first. Fats, cholesterol go up. Well, if those are constantly high in your arteries, you're going to get hardening in the arteries. Obviously, you can get thrombosis or strokes. Fear, anxiety go up. Aggression, anxiety, OCD, panic attacks, depression. Decreased memory. Over time, you can have job, relationship stress, school stress, ADD, ADHD. Increased adrenaline, decreased serotonin, that will lead to anxiety, eventually depression, chronic fatigue, insomnia. Cellular immunity goes down, frequent infection, illness, flus. If your immune system's down for any amount or for a prolonged amount of time, that's when you're going to be susceptible to cancer. Bone loss breakdown goes up, osteopenia, osteoporosis, bone fractures, premature or accelerated aging. And do any of these sound familiar to you guys? I think I just covered, and we'll go back to it here, but every one of these, about 80 to 90% of the diseases plaguing our nation can come from stress. And the thing is, heart disease, cancer, stroke, chronic pain, osteoporosis, infertility, obesity, insomnia, decreased sex drive, low testosterone, all of these can come from chronic stress. So would you agree with me that it's probably good that we manage our stress? Now some of you are probably thinking, man, this guy's kind of a negative nanny here. And I'm here to tell you the saving grace is coming, and you're probably wondering, what can I do to reduce stress in my life? And the answer is very simple. These are stress reduction kits, and we can print these off, and we'll give you each one as you leave today. And I put it in a place about eye level, and when you're really feeling it, just let her go, okay? I'm teasing, but I know we've all been here before. Fake answer number 2 is, you know, we all have a frontal lobe. We can make conscious decisions to live healthier. Let's eliminate stress. But let's be honest, that is not 100% possible. None of us can do that. So what we need to do then is, in essence, just prepare our body with the tools necessary to better manage or fight stress. And that's where we're going next. So I'm not going to get into too much. Dr. Bullock did an amazing job talking about diet, but I'm here to tell you the strongest drug in this world is at the end of your fork. And we typically tell people to eat a paleo, meaning like our ancestors did, and a Mediterranean diet, which is the people that live longest in this world live around the Mediterranean Sea. And a lot of their food consists of 60% real vegetables, fruits, rainbows of colors, and there's real is highlighted for a reason, or underlined for a reason. About 25-30% lean proteins, almonds, walnuts, chicken, venison. Beef, if it's grass-fed, is good for you. There's actually omega-3s in beef that's grass-fed. 10% complex carbs, no whites. Avoid the white poisons, white sugar and white flour. Those things cause your insulin to spike. You know, eat a piece of bread, you're starving, and 25 minutes later, and you do that long enough, we all know, again, that's diabetes, hypoglycemia, insulin resistance. We use a lot of, in our house, we use a lot of whole grains, brown rice, and quinoa. So am I saying that right, hon? Spell a lot different than it sounds. So, and then 5% healthy fats. Again, Dr. Bullock talked about it. Olive oil, coconut oil, omega-3s. That's one supplement we should all be taking unless you eat fish at least once a week. And again, if it didn't breathe, if it didn't come from a seed, and if you can't pronounce it, you should not eat it. And that's basically our food in America. Eat frequent meals throughout the day, 5 to 6 meals a day. Smaller, by the way. This isn't 5 to 6 visits to Golden Corral buffet. That would not be conducive with good health. But what you do there is you keep your metabolism running high, and it keeps you from having those blood sugar drops. At least 10 grams of protein with each meal. Eat organic whenever possible. 100 years ago, everything was organic. Now you got to pay extra for it. Isn't that kind of funny? But I encourage you to do so. And there's many great, we all know all the stores here in town. I do a lot of natural grocers. We do a lot of stuff there. Drink half your body weight, ounces of water per day. So if you weigh 100 pounds, drink at least 50 a day. This decreases fatigue. It amps up your immune system. It keeps toxins flowing from your body. I skipped this one, dairy. There's a reason that 80% of this world is lactose intolerant, guys. We were not designed to drink milk into adulthood. And think about it. No other animal on this planet drinks milk when they're an adult. And we don't even drink our own milk. It's a cow's milk, which, God, I hope some of you aren't dairy farmers. I'm going to hear it after this. But milk, when it's pasteurized and homogenized, you can't use the vitamin D and the calcium that's in it. Plus, it's pro-inflammatory. Dairy is one of the higher food allergies out there. Figure out your food allergies. There's a test by Alitis Labs. Talk to me afterwards if you need. It's $160. They'll test you and you'll know for the rest of your life what you're allergic to, and avoid that, and magically your health will get better, I guarantee it. And then avoid chemicals in all forms. Aluminum, I encourage people, don't use antiperspirant. You should not block your pores. You're designed to sweat for a reason. Plus aluminum is a neurotoxin. Mercury, if you got mercury is a neurotoxin. You know, a dentist removes it, they have to call a chemical waste truck to come get it, but somehow it's okay in your teeth? I don't know about that. If you do vaccinate, I'm not getting into that today, that's a hot topic, but I would encourage you to make sure that the vaccines are mercury-free and you don't get 3 or 4 different disease vaccines at one setting. How many of you catch diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis at the same sitting? But I'll just leave it at that. Avoid illicit drugs. Obviously, you can't be healthy if you're shooting heroin. We're not going to go into that. Another one, tobacco. Like I said, obviously, cigarette smoke, not good for anyone. Avoid alcohol. No, every day, it's okay for women to have 1 drink. Men, you can have 2 drinks a day. And the thing is, 5 ounces of wine, 1 12-ounce beer, or 1.5 ounces of liquor. And this isn't something like vacation time that rolls over, all right? You don't not drink for 4 or 5 days, and then Friday comes and boy, you got 10 that you can catch up on. That's not how it works, by the way. And then get out, breathe fresh air, like Dr. Bullock said. I mean, when you get out and just experience His grace, His will, it's just, there's something about it. And then only use medications when necessary. Now, I don't want to sound anti-medicine, I am by no means, but medicine was designed for acute injuries and life-preserving methods. Medicine was not designed for long-term health. And there's times when you need it, but the average U.S. citizen, this is the World Health Organization's last year said the average U.S. citizen's on 13.7 prescriptions. If I'm not on any, some of you aren't, I'm telling you, someone's picking the slack up. And we all know they're side effect free, right? Next time you watch TV, stick around during the commercials and listen to the end of that drug commercial. So how to reduce mental emotional stress. Thoughts have amazing power. What you tend to put your mind into and think about will come to fruition, I guarantee it. So make sure you're thinking about the good things. And again, you can draw in health or you can draw in disease. It's up to you. You must let go of fear, anger, jealousy, hatred, unforgiveness. You guys hold this inside, it's just going to eat at you. It does nothing for that person that harmed you. You need to let these go. I like this quote, make peace with your past so it doesn't screw up your present or your future. Cut ties with those who are negative. You know, we all know who we're talking about, right? I mean, you walk into a room and this person just sucks the life out of you. Try to avoid time with them. And you can't soar like an eagle if you flock with turkeys. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Attitude is everything. Everything that comes into your life, I feel, is a reason. And you can either look at the different sides of the coin, optimistically or pessimistically. And life is, I think it was Wayne Dyer said, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. Don't blame others for your life. Take responsibility for every action. Where you are in this life is a direct result of decisions you have made. Laugh. Did you know toddlers laugh about 400 times a day? Adults will laugh about 15 times. I would argue that toddlers on the whole are a little bit happier with their lives than us. Quit being a people pleaser. Now this is a big one for me, especially when I got into practice. You cannot please everyone. And you guys remember a guy named Jesus? Anyone? You know, started a revolution, about 400 churches in Abilene because of this one man. Pretty amazing, by the way. Jesus was perfect in every way, and this guy was hated so much that he was crucified. And I don't know about you, but I fall a little bit short of Jesus. Why am I trying to constantly please everyone? So just do your best in any situation. Just be true to your heart and don't try to please everyone, because you can't. I'm a chiropractor. Continue reducing mental emotional stress. Stop worrying. The best thing I've ever heard as far as worry is 95% of the things you worry about never even happen. And the 5% that do are typically never as bad as we had imagined. And whenever I get something stuck in my head, I think, in 5 years, will this matter? And if the answer is no, I stop worrying about it. If the answer is yes, then I do something right there to make a positive impact towards bettering that situation. Count your blessings, your children, your family, your spouse, your health, your finances, just a lot of it. We have a lot more to be grateful for than not, guys, and you need to count these blessings. You know, it's taking me time, but a lot of times it's easier to be critical of things than actually look at all the good. Use positive affirmations. Again, what you speak, the most powerful words you'll hear are what you speak and hear yourself. And if you wake up and you speak out loud, I don't feel good, I'm fatigued, I'm depressed, and you're just drawing that into your life. So even if, I want you guys to do some things tonight, or for the next week, every morning when you wake up, I want you to wake up and go, each day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. I guarantee you do that 3 times a day, or 3 times every morning, first 3 things you say, you're going to see change. Even if you look in the mirror and go, man, you look good. That's all you need to do. It's positive. Seek out help. Now, some of the most costly advice you'll ever get is the free stuff you get from your friends. So my goal, or what I encourage you to do, is seek out those that do. Pastors, counselors, psychiatrists, doctors, lawyers. You're surrounded by people that specialize here in things today. Go talk to them. And you can't be a master of all trades, so you go to those that do. Media fast. If you spend your life, you get up, you listen to talk radio all day, you read the newspaper, then you watch talk radio all night, and then end with the nightly news. We were not designed to hear every atrocity in this world, guys. That's just not how we were designed. And I think one man was designed to deal with that, and that man no longer lives on this planet. So I encourage you to try to give up media for a week and just see how you feel. Now, some of you work for the newspaper or the cable networks there, you're probably not going to like me, but just try it. And faith and prayer. Now, I'm not here to push faith on you. It's a big part of my life, but I will tell you the Lord will let things into your life for a reason. At the time, it's you know what, but when you get past it, something in your heart changes and you're better for the rest of your life. So that's all I'm going to say there. Reducing physical stress. Exercise 3 to 5 times a week, at least 20 minutes. And exercise, if you want to be free from stress, is absolutely necessary. It's a nutrient your body needs. There's a reason you have over 600 muscles and 300 joints. They need movement to be healthy. So there's 3 types I like to talk about. Aerobic cardio. That's where you just get your blood pressure going. You get your heart rate up for 20 minutes. Try to do that at least 3 times a week. Just enough to get a light sweat going. I'm not going to get into heart rate and all that. Just get a light sweat going. Strength training. Now, you don't have to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, all right? You need to curl, lift weights. You need resistance because that's what, helps you build lean muscle mass, which will help your metabolism. You're going to burn more fat and calories. Plus, you look better. And then 2 is, it's good for your bones. A lot of women deal with osteopenia or porosis. One of the best things you can do is weight train. Now, you don't have to curl weights. You can get even exercise bands can have a significant effect. Or swimming is great. And then there's the functional daily living exercise. And these are things bits of exercise you can get in your normal everyday. So don't raise your hands on this, but how many of you are the person who drives around Walmart parking lot 35 minutes trying to get that front spot? Or when you're done shopping, you leave your cart right where your car was and don't put it to the corral. Those are ways to get exercise. Or how many of you use the stairs rather than the elevator? Diet, I won't get into that. Dr. Bullock went through that. Supplements were designed to fill the gaps in our diet, and as Americans, we're all overfed typically and undernourished, as bad as that sounds. But supplements are meant to fill those gaps. I'm not going to get into too much, but omega-3s, like I said, you should be taking about 2 to 5 grams a day. I use Carlson Labs fish oil. Vitamin D3. Vitamin D isn't even a vitamin, it's a hormone. Your body uses it in many, many different reactions, and especially in the winter, your body makes vitamin D when you're out in the sun, and in the winter, the UVB rays are not strong enough to produce it in your body, so you should supplement. Sleep, you want, like Dr. Bullock said, the people that live longest in life sleep at least 7-8 hours a night, and sleep on your side. Do not sleep on your stomach, or your chiropractor will be mad at you. And then become proactive, not reactive in your health care. Regular massage. Massage is great, releases toxins. Obviously, everyone who here doesn't like a massage, raise your hand. I think we're all in agreement there. Physical therapy is great for acute chronic injuries, reduce work stress, limit your sitting to an hour, team lift. Just if you work in a job where you're constantly belittled and treated badly, I encourage you to find another position or job. Chiropractic. Now, this is not a chiropractic infomercial, but I am a chiropractor, so I'm obviously biased here, but chiropractic is probably the most misunderstood profession out there. And I'm here to tell you that chiropractic is based on the fact that your nervous system, which is your brain, spinal cord, and nerves, controls every function in your body, whether it's what you think, your heart beating, your colon, it doesn't matter what you're doing, your nerves are controlling that. And our goal is to find stress to this nervous system. And what can happen from stress, we talked about car accidents, falls, trips, fall on the ice, is your bones in your spine can misalign and get stuck. And we're not talking 3 inches. I mean, even 2 millimeters can cause a significant decrease in the function of your nervous system. This is just real quick. This is what people think about when they come into my office. I need to have you just relax and trust me on this, Mrs. Hostrander. He's jumping from a ladder. Again, subluxation, it's our code term. It basically means misaligned bone that's irritating a nerve. No pill in the world can fix this. Patient comes in like this, I don't care how much Celebrex you take, that's not going to straighten out. And we use our hands to find these, we use x-rays, there's postural tests, but our goal is to figure out where your spine is stressed. And again, your nerves control everything. So a lot of folks come in, low back pain, though you don't forget, guys, those nerves that can cause you low back pain and sciatica go to your colon, your bladder, women, your uterus. So I get young women that come in with chronic back pain. Half of them are having cycle issues, irregularity, cramps. The nerves in your neck go to your thyroid. Obviously, that's metabolism. So we'll see people get lethargic, fatigue, weight gain. The nerves in your upper spine play a role with sinuses. That's a big one here in Texas, allergies. If you get time, go to our website. We were on the news last year for treating so many kids with allergy symptoms, and I gave them this much medication. All I was doing was adjusting their atlas, and a lot of them got better, believe it. Now, just some cases real quick. We're almost done here. This is a gentleman came in walking with a cane, 38 years old, male, sharp, 10 out of 10, low back pain. He's got shooting pain and weakness in his legs. And this guy's on hydrocodone like candy. Put him through corrective care. This isn't 2 treatments. Anything in life takes time and repetition. But 8 weeks later, just adjusting those misalignments, you can see things straighten out. And the Paul Harvey side of the story is this guy felt better. Can you believe it? 80–90% no more pain in his legs. This one's tough to see, but this woman has what's called a reverse curve. She was in a car accident about 20 years ago. 15 years she's had severe neck pain, numb hands, sciatica, headaches. Got her under care, and it's tough to see. She went from negative, I believe, -4 degrees to 6 degrees. Normal in a neck is 35 to 45. You guys probably thinking, 10 degrees isn't much. Well, next time you go to the lab work or go to the lab and you're getting blood drawn, tell them to go 10 degrees right or left and see how happy you are. That's a lot on a nerve. In her neck, you can see neck pain 80% gone, 70% gone, headaches in 2 weeks and some change after 15 years of suffering. This is a 31-year-old military man. Another case, this guy's on what's called a profile. He's failed some PT tests. And we see a lot of military, by the way. Low back, mid-back pain. Does that look normal to you? Shooting pain down his legs. Got him under corrective care. In 8 weeks, you can see things straightening out. His low back pain is 90% gone. Now, I show you that to tell you that chiropractic works. You do not have to believe in us for it to work. I promise you we're not a religion. And the thing is, it's a very simple concept, but when applied specifically, it can have tremendous benefit. And my goal is to take every patient that comes in my office from here who's struggling, they're living on meds, they can't do what they love to do, and take them to here. Because frankly, we only have one life to live, and life's hard enough. You shouldn't have to struggle through it. So I'll get off my soapbox and chiropractic. One more and we're done, Lauren. And never forget what I just covered. Again, we talked about how stress impacts your health, how it affects your body from the inside, but more importantly, how to better deal with it and minimize it. Your health affects everything you do and everyone you know. So if I can sum up what I just said, you need to eat well, you need to move well, and you need to think well. I guarantee you do these three, you will live well so that you can be there for those who matter most. And that's our daughter, Sophia. It's been an honor, guys. I wish you all blessings, abundance. I'm Dr. Christenson.